If you want to see someone who doesn't know what they're doing not fix a motherboard, that's what this crap is. This was the first 3rd gen Intel motherboard I bought to replace my failed 3rd gen Intel motherboard, and this one arrived faulty. This is an ASUS P8Z77-V Pro. The faults. All this PC does is play YouTube videos on my old TV, so the onboard graphics is plenty powerful enough. But when I checked it, the monitor was blank. I checked the manual and there's a red fail LED for the graphics, and that was lit. You can even hear the beep codes for the failed graphics. I read a few posts online about the red fail VGA LED, and they said to RMA it because the board has failed. You can see there's nothing on the monitors. Next was the RAM problem. Using a graphics card to display the BIOS, I've got 4 sticks of 4 gig RAM in there. And if you look down here, there's only 8 gig in here. In Advanced Tools, you can see the RAM sticks here. Here's DIMM A, it's a Kingston, 4 gig. Second DIMM, Kingston, 4 gig. Third stick, Corsair, 4 gig. And fourth stick, Corsair, 4 gig. So it sees the RAM over here. But if you go to the main screen, it shows 8 gig. I also tried 4 identical sticks of 2 gig RAM, and it also showed only half the RAM. The second problem is when you go into graphics configuration and you open it, it doesn't show an iGPU. You can even see the onboard iGPU as an option in the notes on the side there. So I've got no onboard graphics, which is a module on the CPU, and I've only got 1 channel of RAM, which comes directly off the CPU. So that had me thinking there's something wrong with the connection between the CPU and the RAM and the chipset. So I checked every pin on the CPU socket, but I couldn't see anything wrong with it. I went through every pin on the RAM sockets, but I couldn't see anything wrong with them either. I was thinking of living with the faults if the guy sent me a GPU, but then I thought I'm paying full price for a faulty motherboard that I can never resell. I wasn't thinking about repairing motherboards at the time, so I sent it back and I got a full refund. But then about a week later I found another 3rd gen Intel motherboard on Gumtree. But after a couple days, i.e. heat cycles, that failed as well. This one I couldn't get a refund even though his wife said I could bring it back because it was on Gumtree. And that's when I started looking into repairing motherboards. While looking at motherboard repair videos, I found one where the guy had the exact same problem. No graphics and only half the RAM. And that guy tracked it down to crack solder balls under the CPU socket. The guy had a professional setup with a hot plate and a heater from above. He reflowed the CPU socket and it worked after that. That repair is beyond the scope of any hobby guys, so it was good I sent it back. But at least I got closure on what the problem is.